Hi guys, welcome back to Sport Talk. Today we're going to be looking ahead to the weekend's Premier League action and doing some fantasy tips. First of all, I'm going to just have a look over my team from last weekend. I decided to play wildcard. Did all right, did pretty well, beat the average, but just had a shocker. Schoolboy, I forgot to do my captain. Left Jimenez as captain. What a shocker! 2 points, wasted time. But Alisson did well. Bellerin, Robertson, Mendy, big points from my defence. Salah came good, but after that, it was only Sigurdsson and Mitrovic. Bournemouth boys let me down, and Jimenez was a shocker. And then Pep did his thing and leaving out Raheem Sterling when he's on fire. So overall, can't be too disappointed with how last week went, but let's look ahead to this week. So this week's fixtures are quite a tough bunch to work through. You're looking at Brighton Wolves, not much in that at all. Fulham Bournemouth could be any score. Mitrovic, Schürrle, I'd be saying for Fulham. Bournemouth, again, I'd still be looking towards Brooks, Wilson, and if Josh King gets fit. Liverpool, that's where you should be back in. Expect a big win for Liverpool this weekend versus Cardiff. I'd be tripling up on Liverpool players. Southampton, Newcastle, another tight game to call. Southampton don't score too many goals. Newcastle not keeping clean sheets and not really scoring. Watford, Huddersfield, you'd think you'd go for Watford players, but when you look at the Watford players, you don't really know who to go for. The two strikers, Deeney and Gray. Deeney was left out of the squad last week. Gray was on the bench. Do you go for success or the midfielders, Capu, Pereira? Tough one to call. Leicester, West Ham, tight game really. Both teams look about the same level. Leicester, for parts against Arsenal last week, looked the better team. And West Ham have been competing pretty well, but both, maybe West Ham losing Yarmolenko slightly give the edge to Leicester at home. Burnley v Chelsea. I mean, Burnley, don't know what's happening there. None of the things that they've been good at the past few years in the Premier League are happening. Not strong defensively, not winning at set pieces. If anything, conceding at set pieces. So for Chelsea, look towards Rudiger and Willian if you can't afford Hazard. Crystal Palace, Arsenal. You're going to be leaning towards Arsenal, obviously, because Crystal Palace just aren't doing the things that Roy Hodgson teams normally do, apart from play boring football. Arsenal, however, you got to just get on there's 4 players really: Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ozil, and for me, and what I've gone for, Hector Bellerin. Pretty safe option at the back, as he did last week. Pops up with a few assists as well. Regular point assister. Man United v Everton. How do you call this? I mean, for United, no consistency at all. If you watch them in midweek, they got battered by Juve, which a lot of teams will do. But maybe go towards Martial as he's sort of the pick of the moment. But it depends if Mourinho decides to let him off the leash. At times, the past two Premier League games, they've looked good when they've been allowed to go forward. But other than that, it's been very negative, and it's hard to see where the points come from. Maybe from the back 5. Everton, pretty good going forward, but also a bit inconsistent. Then the big one on Monday night, Spurs versus Man City. Too tight to call. At the moment, Spurs are conceding quite a bit, but you'd think they'd step it up versus Man City. Big game on a Monday night, but Man City look great. Expect to see the big boys back. Sané, Sterling, Silva, De Bruyne, with Aguero up front. I expect them to attack with a lot of pace and a lot of intensity. This is City's second big challenge of the season after playing Liverpool away. You'd expect them to try and get a win here, get a bit of a statement of intent for the season ahead. So to recap, big tips for the week: triple up on Liverpool players. Liverpool for a big score against Cardiff, you'd imagine. Bournemouth, I'd be looking at Wilson and Brooks again, possibly Josh King if he's fit. Fulham, still looking at Schürrle and Mitrovic. I mean, that game could be a goal fest. Chelsea, I'd be looking at getting Rudiger at the back. I know at the moment he's the one who's delivering big scores, but decent price to get into. The other, I'd be looking at Willian. If you can't afford Hazard, Willian's a good entry, does the set pieces, and occasionally pops up with the odd goal. And then finally, the Arsenal 4. Ozil, Lacazette, Aubameyang, and Bellerin. Guys, that rounds up the preview for the weekend ahead. Let me know how you get on this weekend in the comments below. If you like what we're doing here, click on subscribe below, and see you on the next one. Cheers. Boom.